Hello guys, this is Raul here joining you guys on this Wednesday. We call it Win Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing fine. I hope you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you for joining me this evening. I want to talk to you guys about a winning formula, and I want to call it change your thinking. Changing your thinking and the importance of the way we think with the results that we want in life. Super important that if we want great results, we have to have great thinking. What does that really mean? You want positive results? Well, you have to have positive thinking. I'm sure you've heard of that, right? So I want to go into some notes that I have here in my notebook. This is a training that I did via Zoom for my wife's team a couple of months ago. And it's something very, very positive, very important, very powerful, things that I use daily to be able to continue going and moving forward. No matter what the obstacle is, no matter what we have to deal with, we always want to continue growing in life, right? Expanding our growth, expanding our thinking. Thinking is so powerful because that's where we decide how we're going to feel about things. Thinking is super important because that's where we decide how to deal with things. We process everything, right? They said, how people advise you, oh man, you got to think about things before you say them. And that is exactly what we do, right? So that's why it's important to change the thinking into something that's going to work for you, right? You don't have to change the thinking into what I say or into something you read in a book. You need to always change your thinking to what's going to work for you for whatever instance in your relationship, at your job, in your business. Super important that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to have your own business, you want to start something from scratch, you want to build the business from home, earn some real income that can potentially change your life forever. You got to change your thinking because there's going to be a lot of obstacles, a lot of bad thinking that we have adopted over the years that's going to get in the way of your progress. So it's super important that we know that the winning formula in life is thinking. How do we think? How do we figure things out? How do we view the world? That's a big part of our identity and who we are. It influences your decision making. So it's super important that if you're in a dark space right now, if you're going through hard times, and things of that matter, definitely you want to analyze what is it that you think about on your free time. What is it that you're thinking about most of your time? What is it that you're thinking about when you feel sad or depressed or down? It's super important that we also take advantage of all the wonderful material that you have out there that teaches you how to have positive thinking, right? And a good positive thinking process. How does that work? And how can you start putting that into practice in your life? That way you're able to have positive results in everything you do. Okay? So if you change your thinking, you can change your life. That is the opening sentence. If you change your thinking, you can change your life. How many of you right now want to change your life? Go ahead and enter in the comments anything that you want to say about this. Have you changed your thinking and has your life changed? Share it with us so that way we can all grow from it. Changing thinking can take you to a whole new level. If you want to escalate in whatever it is that you do, again, I'm giving you general stuff that you can use in everything. If you want to grow and change for the better in anything that you do, you want to change your thinking. Why? Opening sentence, changing your thinking changes your life. So you want to generate more revenue. What does that mean? Making more money. Put it simple. You want to bring more income to the home, you got to change your thinking. You want to solve problems. Hey, what is the difference between being proactive, being prepared, having a plan, taking responsibility for what happens in your life, and being reactive, reacting to things, blaming things, right? Reacting to them. That is a difference. So if you want to solve problems, you definitely need to change your thinking. Next one, great opportunities. You want great opportunities to come to your life. You need to change your thinking. If you're close-minded, if you're a little bit more of an antisocial, right? Well, sometimes you got to step outside of your comfort zone. You got to change your thinking in order for new great opportunities to come about. Why? Because I believe, I greatly believe that that's ultimately what God wants for us. God's plans is for us to really experience the wonder that life is. You can't really do that if you're stuck in the same level. The new you requires a new way of being, a new story being made. This is a new version of yourself, one for the future, one that is going to grow. So guess what you're going to have to do? You have to write a whole new story. You've got to stop living in the past and who you were. That means past failures and also past accomplishments. Something that made you great in the past doesn't mean you're great now. So if we stop growing, we're gonna stop being great. So it's super important for us to always be open to that change. And in order to do that, we gotta expand our thinking. You change your thinking, you're gonna be able to change your life. So generate revenue, solve problems, um, create opportunities. You're gonna have to change your thinking, right? You gotta step outside the comfort zone and learn something new. You're at a job. Well, I don't want to do this forever. Let me do something else. Okay, what does it take? Oh, here. This is a list of things you need to learn. Oh, awesome. Can I get some training, right? And then we get a raise, right? There's more work or different work, but that's how you're able to create those opportunities by changing your thinking. I'm not going to think like the same person forever. I'm going to continue growing. All right. So now this is the thing. We're talking about changing your thinking. Well, okay, Raul, well, how can I do that? Perfect. That is the right question to ask. How can I do? Right? So changing your thinking is not automatic. Number one, recognize the fact that your thinking is not going to change overnight, and you can't just continue being the same person and never change, right? You got to do something different. So changing your thinking is also difficult. So remember, the reason why a lot of people choose not to do anything outside their comfort zone, the reason why people don't want to change is because it's hard. It's difficult. It's a pain. It's a pain in the butt to do it. You got to face your fears. You got to be uncomfortable. You don't want to talk to people. You got to learn to talk to people. You don't want to try something new because it's scary what can happen. You don't want to gamble with your security. Well, guess what? If you don't invest, if you don't try, if you don't dare, then you're always going to be stuck in the same place. You will never know until you know. So in life, it's important to take risks. That doesn't mean that your life is going to be a bunch of risk. No, you have to measure the amount of risk that you take at all time in order to not hit bottom, right? To not lose everything. It's the same thing with investing. Let's say you have $100,000. You're not going to put $100,000 into one investment. Why? Because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. That makes sense, right? So changing and thinking is not automatic. So there's something that you're going to have to do. Get ready. Changing could be difficult, but there's a way to do it. And remember this, that in order to make you feel better about it, changing your thinking, it's a good investment. Changing your thinking is the best investment you can make, right? You got to always be open. Who are the people that progress in life? Who are the people that continue growing? And who are the people that move on? Who are the people that help others? The ones that were doing something before and now they're doing something else. They continue to learn. They say the great teachers are the ones that are learning. So remember this. You'll never stop learning in life. There's always so much that you can learn. You can start by learning things you want to learn, things you love. Hey, I want to fix cars. I want to learn about cars, or I want to get into model building. Hey, that's an awesome hobby. Well, let me learn. Let me learn how is it that you do this? Let me learn from someone. Let me find a teacher. Hey, I want to learn drumming. Okay, perfect. Buy a drum set. You buy a manual. Is that all you need? No, maybe you're gonna need a teacher, right? At least some lessons to get you going. So that's why you make an investment to learn. And once you learn, you know something else, you add value and you grow. Okay, so this is the nitty gritty. How do we become a better thinker? So, number one, I hope you guys are following me. How to become a better thinker, right? You need to expose yourself to good input. This is super important. The reason why a lot of us are not changing the way we think is because we're always doing the same things. We're always hanging out with the same people. We're listening to the same things. We have the same routine. Now, have you guys heard about this? I know in AA, in NA, and different personal developments, it says when you continue to do the same thing over and over, but you expect different results, that is called insanity. Okay? That's called being crazy. That doesn't work. So in order for your life to change, there's something's going to be different. The ingredients going to be mixed up. So you need to expose yourself to good input. Now, what do I mean by good input? Good input will be, for example, A good book. Get into reading books. Ooh, losing network there. Okay. So, review books. Read books. Get into books. Get into reading. Hey, nowadays, I won't just say, get into reading. You can get into listening to a good book because, especially if you're on the go, that's a great way to get good input. But, anyways, if you want to learn about trading, about investing, well, you're gonna maybe get into a website, watch some YouTube videos, read a book, a magazine on trading, on investing, read an article based on somebody who's successful, right? If you want, you can attend events. If there's something that you're into, you can attend an event, right? A conference. Those are always very recommended. You can listen to audios, right? Etc. Listen, grow, expand, learn, read, do all that on whatever it is that you're interested in. What is it that you want to expand in? What is it that you want to grow? Where do you want to change your thinking? What is your goal? So whatever that is, obsess about it. Get into it. Learn, research. Okay? And you need to spend time with good thinkers. So your friend list, time to clean your friend list and really figure out who you're spending your time with. Because maybe you're spending time with people that are holding you back. It's okay. You don't have to dismiss all these people from your life altogether, but you need to start spending time, or at least spending more time with the people that are going to help you get to where you want to go. So find your interests. Where do you want to grow? What do you want to learn? What areas of your thinking do you want to change? And then start looking for those people, that information, that research. Okay? So it's a good thing to remember this. Ask yourself this question. Who do you spend most of your time with? And then question number 2 is, how is your life going? Next one. It's a hard one. That's a tough one. So expose yourself to good thinkers, right? You want to expose yourself to good thinkers? You want to start collecting a list of gurus and masters and teachers and mentors and people who you're going to obsess with because they're saying something that rings a bell with you, that resonates with you. This is a very important one. Choose to think good thoughts. Now, where is the key word here? The key word is choose to think good thoughts. It doesn't say think good thoughts. No. You may be thinking bad thoughts all the time. So now you're going to choose on purpose, with intention. You're specifically looking to choose good thoughts. So you must become intentional. That is one thing that people need to do in life if they want to succeed in anything. You want to master anything? Be intentional. What does that mean? Hey, I'm learning an instrument. Okay, great. Well, how are you learning an instrument? Well, I bought me the instrument. I got me the book. I'm listening to some videos. I'm making time during my day to practice. I'm going to practice 1 hour a day in the morning. I'm going to practice 1 hour a day in the afternoon. If I have extra time, so I'm going to jam out. Okay, there's a collection of things that you're going to do in order to master the instrument. You can't just learn to play by looking at it, sitting there beautifully in front of you. You're going to have to grab it, touch it, caress it, get to know it from the basics. Even how to hold it to, okay, what do I do? Things come from muscle memory. Your hands you're learning to play an instrument while your fingers, you close your eyes and you know exactly what you're doing. Well, that doesn't happen overnight. Why does it happen? Because you've been doing it so much that you get comfortable with it. It becomes second nature. So choosing to think good thoughts is, for example, you're going to get a negative thought. Understand when you get a negative thought about something, you got to recognize it. Oh, this is something negative. And what does that mean? Not like bad, just negative. It doesn't help me. It actually affects me. It makes me depressed or sad, or it makes me angry. It makes me go backwards. So I don't want to think like that anymore. So as soon as that thought comes in, you need to replace it with a good one. You need to start choosing to think good thoughts. So you need to do a 180 turn on your life. If you're in a bad space, if you're in a bad place, if you admit that you are a very negative person, it's time for you to do a 180. So negative thoughts we can't control. Like I said, they come and go, right? Oh, we can't control everything in life, but we could control the way that we react to these thoughts. Also, we can get better over time about positive thinking by practicing positive thinking. right? But it all stands by, everything starts by rejecting, like I said, rejecting those negative thoughts, letting go of those negative thoughts. When they come in, boom, that's where you step in and you say, no, I'm not going to think this, I'm going to think that. Right. And it's good if you speak it and you say it out loud, and if you manifest it in a different way or you write it down, whatever you need to do to help you. Again, that's why they say it's difficult to make changes, because you can't be lazy about it. You're going to have to do some work. Okay. So you need to reject the negative thought. You need to replace it with a good one. Okay. So choose to think good thoughts. Be proactive, not reactive. Meaning, start practicing good thoughts. There's different things that you can do in order to help you think positive. Okay. Now, the next one is acting out on those good thoughts. This is going to get you in the habit of doing good things. By you're having good thoughts now, so now I'm going to act on them, right? You know how it's so easy to act on a negative thought. Hey, this person saw me wrong. They did a face to me. I'm going to go approach them and ask them, you have a problem with me? That's you acting on a negative thought. The positive thought is the same thing. You're going to start acting on the positive thought. So what is key in life is action. That's what's key in life. We can talk about this all day. You can listen to this video. You can memorize everything I said. You can be like, oh yeah, I agree with you, Raul. You're so right. But if we never act on the things that we are learning, we're never going to take what we're learning to the next level. We need to apply it in our life. So remember, behind everything that you want in life, you need to put some action to it. Put action to it. Say it in the comments. Put action to it. Say it out loud. Write it down and say, I'm going to put action to those things that I want. I want a new job. I'm going to put action to it. I want a new car. I want to put action to it. I want a house. I'm going to put action to it. Find out what it takes. What is it that you need to get what you want? If you don't want it, then that's fine. Listen, I want you guys to understand this. You don't have to want what your neighbor wants. You don't have to want what social media or TV tells you to want. You need to learn to understand who you are. What is convenient for you? What is it that you need in life for you? Everybody has a different mission. So stop trying to please the world by wanting what they want. You got to learn and discover what it is that your passion is, what it is that you want. Who are you? What is your identity? So action is key. In the end, what we do is what people remember, right? The actions that people do is what people remember us by. People remember us by our actions. What should we do about this after the Zoom, after the live? Act, because ideas have a short shelf life. What this means is that what should we do about when I'm done talking, when we're done with this, when you're like, oh man, this was great. Oh yeah, you're right. Comment there. Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. I can so see this. I need to do this. About 30 minutes later, you're going to be completely in a different state of mind. You're going to be busy with something else. The kids, going to the store. I'm heading out to the movies. I'm going out on a date. I have to go to work. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to watch Netflix. So guess what happens with that beautiful, wonderful lesson, that thought you had? It's gone, right? It's gone. So we need to learn to act right away on the ideas because they have a short-term life. Next one, allow your emotions to create another good thought, right? To start thinking process, you cannot rely on your feelings. This is something that is something you're going to do that is very mechanical in the beginning until you get used to it. What does this mean? What would I recommend to someone who's going through a hard time and they have a lot of negative thinking? Well, you can start saying positive things instead. At the same time, every day. One perfect example is we take our kids to school. My wife always has my kids say affirmations. We say affirmations, and guess what? They're used to it. These kids are growing up with affirmations in their life. I didn't grow up with no affirmations in my life. I learned about affirmations through personal development, and that has helped me so much. I don't like to live in the past, but I could be a whole different person right now. I could be way more advanced, maybe, if I would have had those affirmations, or maybe not. That's why we cannot live in the past. We have to focus on the future. But I do know this: the solution to a lot of problems in society is the way that we raise our children, right? If you want solutions is in the future, you have to focus on the now and you have to focus in the past. Okay. In the present. I'm sorry. You want to change your future, you have to focus on the now, right? In the present. So, to start your thinking process, you cannot rely on your feelings because you're not always going to feel the best. You're not going to wake up and be amazing. You're not going to jump out of bed every day like a tiger, like they tell you to do. But that is a good practice. They tell you know what, when you wake up, smile. And that's something that I do. I started doing that and it helps. Get out of bed like a lion. Stop, turning off the alarm and stop snoozing your phone. What do they tell you? Why do they tell you this? Because you're kind of doing things that are going to set you back in the day, slow you down a little bit, make the day drag on. So you cannot rely on your feelings to do these actions that are going to help you have positive thinking, that are going to change your life. You need to act on them no matter what. So what does this mean? When you feel like crap, hey, say something positive. When you're thinking negative, say something positive. Go to the mirror and tell yourself something positive. When you feel down on yourself, when someone hurt you or betrayed you, say no. I am strong. I am powerful. I am willing. I will grow. I will get out of this one. This is a blessing in disguise. I'm going to be able to come above this stronger than ever. When you say these words, words have power, right? So if you continue doing this practice on and on and on, you're going to program your brain and therefore you're going to change your thinking. So if you wait, guys, until you feel like doing something for your life, you're never going to be able to do anything for your life. Anything different, that is. If you wait till you feel like improving any area in your life, you're never going to feel like it because we just want to chill. We just need to chill sometimes, right? So, but sometimes we just want to chill. Whatever it is that you do, guess what? You get good at it. So if you get good at chilling, you're going to get extra good at chilling and you're going to want to do some chilling all the time. So what this means is that you need to make sure that why is it that you do what you do? Why is it that you step out of your comfort zone to do something better, something great? That has to be your motivation to be able to continue going and wake up every day and be a better version of yourself. You need to want it. You need to desire it. And this is why we go through struggles in the world. We go through struggles in the world because God is trying to teach us the lesson that we cannot be complacent and sit back and relax. We have to be proactive in life. We have to be responsible for our decisions. We have to be intentional. We have to put in the hard work to grow yourself. Okay? So, it says here, if you wait until you feel like it, you will never do it. We need to sometimes force ourselves to do those things that are good for us, even when we don't like to or we don't want to. Okay? So, next one is repeat the process. What did I mention is that once you identify what's good for you, what are you going to do next? You're going to have to continue doing it over and over and over and over again. Sometimes when we get into personal development and we understand that, okay, I want to begin this mission. I'm going to embark in this powerful adventure of growing myself, starting my own business. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a leader. I'm so attracted to this world, this wonderful new world of I want to be somebody in this life. But guess what? Once we start seeing what it really takes, it's like, whoa, I need a break, right? So how bad do you want it? That's super important to understand. Stop putting excuses because you have to understand, do you realize how bad you want it? You need to gauge that all the time. You need to see what temperature how bad do I want it is, right? That's where the winning is going to come from because you really need to see, you need to have a reason at all times, guys, of why you want to be better. A lot of people say, well, my why, and it's called your why. What is your why? We always have a why in everything in life. Why am I in love? Why do I love this person? Why do I want kids? Why do I love my kids? Why do I have my kids? Why do I go to work? Why do I dress this way? Why do I look this way? Why do I walk the long distance for this, right? Why do I go out of my way to go eat at this place? Because you have a motivation, that great food, that great relationship, the joy that your children bring you. the love you receive from this other person. Why is it that oh, I'm gonna wake up at 5:30 so I can start working on myself? Or what? Why? I go to the gym and I work out after work. Why? Because you have a motivation, you have a goal. Remember, guys, we need to be goal oriented, and that's going to be a whole different lesson, but it's super important because something that I'm big on. I always perform better when I have goals. And guess what? We all get lazy and we all forget, and sometimes we just cruise. But that's exactly what that is. You can decide to just cruise through life. And what is cruising through life is staying the same forever. And eventually, you don't grow. And not growing is actually it's actually going backwards because you're diminishing your potential. You're not living up to your potential. So think about it this way. It's like wearing the same clothes from when you're a child as you get older. Like, let's say you wear the same shoes, same shoe size. You never change shoe size. What's going to happen to your foot? It's going to go like this. Your body will mold into what you make it go through. Same with your mind. Your mind is going to mold into what you put it through. This is super important to remember. So you have to have goals, set goals for yourself in order for you to be like, okay, this is who I want to be, or this is what I want to become. This is what I want to do. And then you start working on it. You want it really bad. So that means you have a good motivation, and that's where you're going to get up every day and do what you got to do to get there. So remember, I need you guys to get obsessed. Put obsessed in the comments, say obsessed. I need to be obsessed with changing my thinking for the better. And if you have great thinking, my friend, and everything I'm telling you, you already know, you can still do this. You can continue doing this. It's super important that you do so. Why? Because you never stop growing. You never stop learning. Your brain continues to develop. You can always be better at what you do, or you can learn to do a whole new thing. Guess what? Since the moment that you are born, my friend, into the moment that you die, you are meant to grow, to expand, to be able to be better and better and better, whatever that means. Okay? So these are the ending words, and I probably already said it, but I like to have notes because it helps me not miss points. So something that is very important is fall in love with thinking and discovering and innovating and figuring things out. This is something extra, guys. That's a way for me to kind of describe something that has helped me. Falling in love with thinking, with wondering, with learning, with figuring things out. Why? It's like, oh, someone brings me a problem, and then I'm going to look at this like it's like a Rubik's Cube. I'm going to look at it and I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. Oh, you just gave me something to do. This is a hobby for me. I want to figure this thing out. And then until I'm done with it, I'm going to be there for a couple hours, and then there you go. It's fixed. Rubik's Cube, right? So human beings are meant to learn things. We're meant to grow. We're meant to develop. We're meant to become a better version of ourselves. So guess what? Always have a focus. Always have a desire. Always continue to work on falling in love with learning things, with growing, with becoming a better person, or a better version of yourself. Why? That is going to for sure help you get through life without falling into depressions and different types of things. Okay? Because what's going to happen is that if we stop having the motivation to continue going, guys, that's where we're going to fall into those dark times, into those dark areas, dark moments, dark spaces where we don't have, we can't make sense of our lives. Our lives are meant to have purpose. Your life has a purpose. It's like, you can't just, I know I wasn't meant to just work and die. Exactly. Everything that we do on our daily lives, the people we meet, the connections we make, how we influence other people's lives, what we do with our spare time. Do we build a family or not? And how do we give back to our community and to others? That's super important, because just the same way that God is not selfish and he created a world in which he can give us and help us experience and learn, that is the same way that we can mimic God and do his work by giving back. You don't need to be an expert, okay? You don't need to be amazing. You have to learn to be you. The number one thing that people are missing in their life is identity. They don't have their identity. We're not focusing on learning who we are. We're not focusing on learning what we're good at. We're not focusing on learning what we could become. What is our true potential? And going back to your thinking and your brain and the power that humans have, we can continue growing and growing a continuum, infinitum, into the day we die, right? So that's the beauty of the mission of personal development, that you can continue getting better at what you're doing, you continue expanding and growing, and what's going to happen is that you're going to start finding out more things about yourself that you didn't know, things about passions, things you care about, things you want, in your life that you didn't know. But now that you put yourself out there, now that you got outside of your comfort zone, now you can begin to live a whole new you. So now we went full circle, guys, and we end up at the beginning again. Change your thinking and it will change your life. If you guys enjoy this live, please share it with anybody who can use it, who can need it. If you guys want to reach out to me personally, you have something to tell me, something to say, or you want to share something with me, I'm happy to talk to you. Anything you want to say to me, you can also leave it in the comments. And thanks so much, guys, for supporting me, supporting my page. I'm just trying to offer some value with these lives. I'm going out of my comfort zone, going live at different times of day where I have different things going on, but I want to make sure I give back because this is helping me. This is helping me grow. This is helping me live by the standards and not be a hypocrite. This is also helping me give back, get to know you guys, offer value, right? So at least my mission here in earth is not just to take from people, right? It's not just to receive from people. My mission also is to be able to give back. And that's a beautiful cycle. It's a beautiful cycle of giving and receiving and then sharing again and continuing that cycle, because that's going to promote happiness. A happiness within that you have a purpose. So if you guys enjoyed this live about positive thinking and changing our thinking, better yet, better said, let me know in the comments. Give it a like, give it a heart, and share it, because that way we can continue promoting this. I know that I'm offering content. I know that I have people interested in it, and then that way I can assess who my friends are on Facebook. Who are these people that I am bringing into my life? Are there people that I want to keep with me, right? Because they're accepting this gift of information, of sharing a moment where we can all come together and listen to someone talk something positive, some value. All right. So I'll catch you guys next time. Happy Wednesday. Think about your wins. Focus on your wins today. What is it that made you happy today, that went well? And how did you feel at the moment? What were you thinking about when this happened? This is super important for you in order for you to get used to that thinking that can change your life forever. All right, I'll let you guys go. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night, and I'll catch you guys in the next live. Bye. If you guys are joining now, please watch the replay. I feel like this was a good one. Let's share it with someone who might need it. Peace.